Everyone. Indeed, not easy to continue after that panel. It was very, very moving. I will introduce myself. My name is Tal Rapaport. Until recently, I was the GM of the Tetris portfolio games in Play Studios, an amazing company that was my home for the last 12 years. And I just left recently to start my own entrepreneurial journey and to host panels like this. So with me on stage are four very interesting people. Each could easily have a 1 hour talk, but we have 30 minutes to talk to all of them about the market and the future. So I think without further ado, I'll let you introduce yourselves and your companies.
Hi, I'm Uriel. I'm the Chief Marketing and Monetization Officer at Gigantic. Gigantic is a very interesting company founded 6 years ago and is the developer of Chloe. Chloe is a combination between mobile games and e-commerce, and it allows its users to play remotely on real claw machines and win real prizes. I joined the company a couple of years ago, and prior to that, I had a few executive roles in the mobile gaming and mobile marketing spaces.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Reich, or Jonathan Reich, depending on where you're from, but I am the CEO of Zedge. We have a portfolio of digital assets. Our flagship is the Zedge Marketplace, an app which offers mobile phone personalization. We've surpassed close to 700 million organic installs to date. Very, very popular on Android. We also own a gaming company based here in Tel Aviv that we purchased around 2 years ago by the name of Guru Shots. Guru Shots is gamified photo competitions, and we also own Emojipedia, a web-based business, which is really anything and everything having to do with emojis. Really, really excited to be here and be able to, share thoughts and our story with you.
Thanks. Hi everyone, I'm Roee, founder and CEO of Ovivo Games. We are a Tel Aviv-based startup specializing in hybrid casual mobile games. Our mission is to empower game developers to build profitable businesses. And at the beginning of the year, we started our own hub or in-house development studio. So now we are both publishers and studio that enjoy from our publishing abilities. So, yeah.
Yuval from Simply, and we saw the video here with the piano. There's something that we cater to, something that people all over the world, I'm sure many people here have, that just want to play music and want to draw and arts and crafts and even cooking as a form of self-expression. Anything that is creative hobbies, and oftentimes it's very difficult. So wherever it's difficult, we aspire to go in, and with our technology and technologies that we'll develop and other tools and content, make it super, super easy. So some of you might know us as like Ophir, as Joy Tunes, with piano and guitar and singing that's exploding. And we have Simply Draw, our first excursion out of music, which is going very, very well. And we have all the team, everyone is here for good and bad, mostly good, but has in these times its difficulties as well. And obviously millions users all over the world, and a lot of partners with Disney and Amazon and instrument manufacturers and Apple and Google and so on, and new apps that we just released and new apps that will come. And actually mostly excited to be here, and thank you for having me and for inviting. And I don't get out much these days, so this is fun.
We're here for you, get you out. So thank you all of you for being here. I want to say special thanks to Jonathan that flew over from New York, which is not something we take for granted these days, in these complex days. I want to say a few words about how it is to be here this time.
Thank you, Tal. I think that the theme that we're hearing, and we'll most probably hear a lot of today, is resilience. This is my second trip since October 7th, and the notion of being able to focus when we have missile breaks in the middle of meetings, the ability to really win by making sure that we are true to keeping to our goals and objectives, and supporting our staff, making sure that people that are called up for reserves and are fighting are welcome and are, you know, supported by us is really key to the experience that I've had, and it's just very, very inspiring, very difficult, but very inspiring to be able to experience that. And I just hope that everyone here is able to recognize that our victory, pardon me, our victory is not only on the battlefield, our victory is being able to be successful in our businesses and execute and just showing how great we can be.
Thank you, Jonathan.
I wanted to add that first, I very much relate to what you just said, Jonathan, and thank you for coming. And it reminded me a situation I had with one of my team lead in the company when we discussed about the idea of anti-fragility, and which means basically that we're not only withdraw a challenge, but grow stronger from it. So I wish and I hope that this spirit of anti-fragility will help us emerge stronger in the future.
Okay, so let's dive deep. So it was not only a challenging year nationally, it was also a challenging year in the industry. Global economic downturn, market is going down after years of growth. UA is being more difficult. Market is wants profitability, so now we have challenges on growth and UA spend and scaled operation, and not to talk about even fundraising and these kind of things. And you guys are running companies in this complex ecosystem. Would love to hear what has changed in the past year for you. How are you, if at all, if something changed? Roee.
So first, as you mentioned, CPI has increased, and our business, we started the business as a hyper-casual, and then in the last year, when hyper-casual basically faded away and make a room for the hybrid casual genre, we had to make some adjustments in our company. A few words about the differences. So hyper-casual are very simple games with very simple gameplay. The monetization is heavily based on ads, extremely low CPI on the user acquisition side, and the retention of the game is relatively low. Hybrid casual, on the other hand, as their name suggests, is based on a different monetization model that is a combination between in-app purchase and ads monetization. And the production time takes more, talking about like weeks on hyper casual, which converted into months in hybrid casual. So we had to make some adjustments, and we took a decision to build our own studio. Basically, to answer the biggest challenge, I think, of the production time that take much more in hybrid. So we had to first build our infrastructure, the technological infrastructure. We invested in it. That will help us. It took a bit more time at the beginning to build the infrastructure that will help us shorten the production time later on. So now, if we want to publish a game or create a game that is like an arcade idle game, which is hybrid casual, it should take us weeks versus months that it took us in the beginning.
Amazing. So a dramatic change in your business model, basically. Now, also developing games.
Absolutely.
Uriel?
Chloe is a big challenge. It's a very unique product, and at the same time, it's also very challenging. Basically, our business model and unit economics are challenging because we have an additional cost on top of other costs that usually game developers have, which is the price cost that once user play the game, they can win a real prize, and we get it shipped to their home. At the same time, it has a very aggressive monetization model. Once a user wins a game, they need to wins a prize, they need to make a purchase in order to get them delivered. And that results with very promising and strong monetization KPIs, but at the same time, obviously, results with very low churn, well, very high churn and very low retention. And we had such a, it's probably the highest conversion rate in the gaming industry, like double digit on day 0. But at the same time, we wanted to try and enjoy all worlds. So about a year ago, we launched the demo room. The demo room is a free-to-play environment in which, and very limited one, in which users get a limited experience of the game, and they are monetized by ads. And once they make a purchase, they unlock the full Chloe experience. After a few optimization and a gradual launch, we saw an amazing uplift in both retention and lifetime value. And it was a pivotal moment for us after years of not touching this model, and really helped the company to reach much better business results and profitability.
Amazing. So I sound we have our panel is constructed by 2 gaming representatives and 2 non-gaming representatives. So summarizing the gaming representative, in both cases, changing dramatically the business model and combining monetization models that required braveness, because it could have been different. Moving to the non-gaming side of the panel, let's talk about growth for a second. Jonathan, Zedge has achieved massive growth in the past year, 30 million MAU, right? That's the number I recently had. So please, can you tell us a bit about how you got there? Paid, organic, the dynamics of that, and specifically how the current challenges around UA are, if at all, impacting you today.
Sure. So I'd say at its core, we've been very true to making sure that we have a really, really great product, and we constantly focus on making sure that we've got a user experience that people really cherish. And there's also an element outside of our control, which is we were in the right place at the right time. As mobile phones began to grow and smartphones began to grow, we were just very true to making sure that the business model was one where users would feel that there was value being given to them, and that it was not something where we were just looking to make a quick buck and leave the user in the background. There were many competitors in this space early on, and they're not around anymore. In terms of UA growth, we're a utility on the Zedge side, and that means that the LTV is pretty low. And what we began to do around a year and a half ago is test the paid UA market. And that's proven to be very, very successful in the Android space. Of course, Apple is still very challenging. But moving to Guru Shots, which is, as I mentioned, we've gamified photo competitions. There, we are faced with the challenges, and we're really approaching all sorts of different strategies, whether it be conventional, go out and try to buy users and crack the nut in terms of ATT and so on and so forth, using socials, ASO, SEO, really having a multi-pronged attack in order to unlock value is what our strategy is. And it's something which is complicated, requires a lot of grit, and we continue to pursue it. In addition to that, also some major product changes and making sure that we are aligning marketing spend to the introduction of new product elements and so on and so forth in order to attract that user base.
Thank you. Very interesting. Yuval, do you have a similar experience?
I think so. So I relate to the core product as the most important thing, and our choice from back in the day before subscriptions were a thing in the App Store. We had to convince Apple to allow us to have it, even as a choice of a business model that aligns the interest of you and the user on a financial sense. So financial and value is kind of meet, you're obliged financially, business-wise, to supply value over time and to have a good experience and to align the interests. So it's a very, it has its disadvantages, but we subscribe to that. We do feel like in terms of all the privacy stuff and the user acquisition, so that affects us as well, obviously. More the go-to, so not the product and not the value that I mentioned, and this need that we see is, has been around for centuries and will be around for centuries. So it's more, what affects us more is tools. When tools are changing, when we have a new way to make things more accessible and fun for a creative hobby, that's when it gets, it might affect strategy in a deeper way. This affects a lot of the details of the go-to and how to do it, and obviously that happens. And I think there are other things that weren't mentioned, but also all the stuff with Apple and Europe, the new policies and regulations that are kind of, let's see if and when it goes global, and they also were forced to announce that iPads will join the new regulations, which for us it's a big deal, and that's interesting on many levels, even on kind of the Apple's kind of philosophy of things. It's also interesting, but also like exactly how that changed the ecosystem, the dynamics, the equilibrium of performance marketing will now shift, and so on. So that's we keep tabs on that, and we're mostly excited about it.
Yeah. So something to look forward, basically, what's happening in Europe and how is that going to shape us going globally. Let's use that segue to talk more about the future. I think let's talk AI for a second. We will not use the monitor because it's not updating. We'll do it from the head. So AI, I think we are all, it's widely common now to use AI in our businesses for creative marketing and for our pipelines and for data analysis. But I think looking again at you both, when thinking about the creator economy on one hand and specifically creating creative skills, AI may have a more different, more deep impact. Is it something, how are you looking at that? Are you worried in a sense when thinking about what Gen AI is going to bring? Whoever wants to take it.
I'll start. We've had a very, very interesting experience with AI. On the Zedge app, 30 million monthly active users. Our users historically have been consumers. The notion of being able to go out and create a spectacular wallpaper or being able to compose a great ringtone has been outside of most consumers' abilities. And suddenly with Gen AI, with a couple of prompts, there's just incredible content that can be made. And the magic that we are trying to unlock is changing people's mindset and really giving them an opportunity to become creators. We've got the likes of whether it be Instagram or Snap or TikTok, which has started that process with the notion of video, but now taking that to the next level where you empower a person with the tools, but you also change their mindset is the equation that we are trying to solve, and incremental, steady progress. It's hard, but nonetheless. And then the other piece of this is we've got premium content in the app as well. And that means that an artist, a talented artist, goes out, begins marketing their stuff. Someone can copy that pretty quickly with AI. So the notion of being innovative, fast at the trigger, and making sure that you're staying ahead of the curve by using AI is something which we are enabling our premium creators with as well.
Thanks. Yuval?
Yeah, I saw Ophir's warning as well. So we'll do it short. So we're psyched about AI in terms of what happens. So beyond the productivity and all that, it's also we have a bunch of case studies on recognition. We recognize what people play in an actual instrument and what they draw and what they sing and so on. So naturally that has a big effect. There's also kind of content personalization, pedagogy personalization, which is cool. We have a case study on how it affects acquisition, performance marketing, which is a case study by Galia that she's doing today, and I'll do a blatant promotion for her talk at, I think, 1:45. Super interesting stuff there, and she's awesome. Go there. And kind of beyond that, and a little bit on the philosophical side, people go, like what we see will happen is that people have more space to go up the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. More time in their life, or more space, bandwidth in their life for self-expression and self-fulfilling and belonging and so on, which is good for us. It's good for, I think, gaming as a whole as well. That changes some stuff. As a fun anecdote, I'm a Trekkie. I love Star Trek, and there's they beam people from place to place, and they fly through wormholes and so on. And still, at the end of the day, Data, the android, will have his art gallery presentation and will play violin. Not only does he continue to do that, it's also a measurement of his humanity. So that's fun. The second trend, which I won't go into, but it's a much slower one, which is AR, happening slower than what we're seeing in AI, and that for us is a huge game changer. I mentioned like what is a tool that changes what's the type of usability and how to make things more easy and fun for people. That is dramatic. We're working on it. We have next week there's Apple's conference. We're working with them. We were a launch partner. If you saw kind of our icon on stage when they did the Vision Pro, so it's so we're excited by that.
Amazing. It's amazing how startups are so tied to the technology. So you are doing something, and then big things happen that are not related to you, but can dramatically shape what you're doing and how it's affecting. One last question about the future for you, for the gaming people. What should we look for in the future of the gaming industry? Is there a place to be optimistic with everything that I said at the beginning? What's going on? What are your thoughts there?
Many people speak about the increase of acquisition costs and CPIs, and I think the right question should be whether we'll continue to see strong return of ad spend on our spend. I think we can answer that but in two different verticals. The first one will be the increase of lifetime value and improvement of monetization features, monetization capabilities, by adding more and more types of monetization like subscription and maybe web payments and so on. And on the CPI side, I believe we'll continue to see more channels and more places in which marketeers will try to adopt, like audio or CTV or other type of sources. And as long as we'll find this, or maybe new markets, and as long as we'll find this balance, we will continue to see strong return of our ad spend.
I agree with Uriel about the monetization, both monetization and UA. I think on monetization we'll definitely see more and more hybridization on the monetization that will be based on ads on different types, user-initiated, system-initiated, audio ads, whatever, cross promotions between, if you're like us, that we have many different games, so to convert the user on the right time to a different app, and of course in-app purchases. I know Uri didn't talk about it today, but I know that they used to not monetize via ads and started to monetize via ads, I know in the last year or something, so it's the same on us, like we were 100% based on ads, and now we are shifting to in-app purchase. So this hybridization is definitely the future. And on the UA side, expand to many different user acquisition channels in many different business models that will focus you on profits.
Okay, are we done with now we're in the audience part of the questions, or we're done completely? Okay, we had so much fun, we didn't, we're done. Okay. So we're not even last. I don't want to hear last words from each of them. You're sure, because they're good. Okay. Sorry, guys. Go for them to ask.
Thank you. Thank you.